Guys, U4A2, we're going to look at slopes and coming up with slopes. So one way to come up with slopes is just look at the line. So if you have a line, what you want to do, your slope is your rise over your run. So that it really means how much you go up or down versus how much you go side to side. Okay? So rise over run, up and down and side to side. And there is a sign to this. If it's positive, our line is going up. And if it's negative, our line is going down. And we read lines like we read English. We read left to right. So if I look at this line here, this line is going up. Okay, if you say, no, it's going down, it's going, I see it, it's going this way. Well, we read them this way. So here's your line, start watching it go, look, it's going up like this. So that is going up, that would have a positive slope. Okay, it has, when you look at the rise is positive, and we always have run. We always do our run from left to right also. So we read left to right, that's our run, and then we decide, is it going up or down? Up, positive, down, negative. So look at this guy right here. You take 2 points, so I put them in this funny color here on the line, and try to get 2 points of that are at a intersection of a whole number of the x and y coordinates. So don't just take this, like don't start here and say, okay, how do I go from here to here? Well, I go over, I don't know how much, and I go up, I don't know how much. What you want to do is find on your line a couple points where you're on an intersection of a y and an x line. So you have a perfect coordinate. Okay. Now I can get the coordinates here. This is -2 and 0. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and sorry, 0 and 4. And I can deal with that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the slope right off of the graph. So I rise, I have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So my rise is 4 and my run is 2. So I have a slope of 4 over 2, which in lowest terms is 2. And let's see if that's right. Well, another point, I could go from here to here also. So let's check this out. My rise is 1, 2. My run is 1. So I have 2 over 1 as my rise over my run, and my slope is not 1, it's 2. Okay, so that's positive, it's 2. The bigger the slope, the steeper. So if I had a line that went from here to here and up, so if I had this line here that went like this, let's pretend this is straight, and I had a rise of 3 and a run of 1, I would have a slope of 3. Okay, so this blue line, the new blue line, is steeper than the black line, higher slope. Okay, flatter slope. So if I had this line, something like this, let's say, I went from here, so let me go from here to here. Okay, so something like this. Okay, pretend that hit those, and make them bigger like that. Okay, and I wanted to find out my slope of here. I have a rise of 1. Okay, I go up, so I'm going from here to here. I go up 1, and then I go over 2. So my slope is 1 over 2 or a half. You leave that at 0.5 or a half. Anything less than 1 is going to be flatter than our regular line. So our normal line, when we compare things about steepness, is the line right through the axis here that goes over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, and that's the line x equals y. Okay, so or y equals x. Okay, so anything that has a slope of that has your basic slope of 1, anything flatter will have a slope less than 1, and anything steeper will have a slope bigger than 1. Now, be careful when I say less than 1. I really should say between 0 and 1, okay? Because anytime you get less than 0, you get into a negative slope. So let's look at a couple of those examples. So let me clean this up. Reverse, reverse, delete, 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 delete. If I had a line that went from here to here, I'm going down, okay? So this guy is coming down, left to right, okay? So when I get my rise over run, I have a rise of, well, it's, what's going on here? My rise goes up, but I don't go up, I go down. So I'm going from here to here. Now don't go backwards, don't come back and say, no, I'm gonna go up from here to here, okay? We're always read left to right, okay? We have to obey that rule. We go down 1, we go down 2, so my rise is -2, okay? I'm going down 2, and my run is 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case, I have -2/4, which in lowest terms is -1/2. Okay, so I have a nice flat negative slope. Flat means small number, okay, relative to 1. Absolute value less than 1. And negative means going down. So if I had a steep negative slope, I could have something like this. Okay, that goes like this. It's new purple guy. And my rise now, oops, my rise now is -1, -2, -3, -4. And my run is just 1, so 4 over 1, which is, sorry, -4 over 1, which is -4. Okay, so that's a steep negative slope. Okay, so that's one way to get slope. Another way is algebraically. Okay, so now another way is to use points. Okay, the coordinates for points. So I have 2 points, 6, 2, and 4, -4. And what I want to do now is I want to figure out what is my slope. And let's actually change this just looking at this now. Let's change this to 4, -1, just so it fits here, okay? So I'm going to plot these points here. 6, 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. So there's my first point, and the other point is the point 1, 2, 3, 4, -1. So I'm asking what is the slope of the line that goes through these 2 points. So again, just make that a little bigger there. Okay, so let's cheat. 1, 2, 3 is my rise. My run is 2. So at the end of the whole thing, my slope is 3/2 or 1.5. Either way, it's positive because I'm going up and down. It doesn't matter that I wrote this point first and this point second. That's not important. What's important is once you look at the graph, is it going upwards, left to right? Yes, it is. So I have a positive slope. So let's ignore this, what I just did, and let's say I only had the points and I wanted to figure out what the slope is. What you do is you find what we call delta y over delta x, and that's m, that's your slope, delta y over delta x, your rise over your run, all these things are the exact same thing. And another way to get it is through the coordinates of the points. So you call one of these 0.1 and you call one of them 0.2, and it won't matter which one's which because you'll have a couple extra negatives involved or you'll have negatives involved, more negatives involved or less negatives involved, but they'll all cancel out. So I'm going to call this 0.1 because it's first. I'm going to call this 0.2 because it's second. And the way to find the slope is you take the y coordinates of each point and you subtract them. So this is 0.1. So we call this x1, y1. That's the x coordinate of 0.1. That's the y coordinate of 0.1. This is going to be x2, y2. So it's the x coordinate of y2, or 0.2, sorry, the y coordinate of 0.2. So what you do is you take y2, which is -1, and you subtract from it y1, which is 2. Okay, so it's -1, subtract 2. -1, subtract 2. The next, on the bottom, what you're going to do is you're going to take x2, so 4, and you subtract from that 6. Okay, so you take this guy and you subtract this guy. So what you're really doing is you're finding the rise over run. Okay, you're saying how much did I go up from one y coordinate to the other, and how much did I go over from one x coordinate to the other. Okay, and now if you're saying here, hold on a second, I'm going from, well, in this case I am going from 4 to -1, but if you gone backwards and called this 0.2 and 0.1, then you're going from here to here. I asked you not to do it that way when you coordinate it, but really, let's think about this for a second. If we're going to put positive negatives here for a second, in this case, and I'm going to go from here to here, don't do this, but let's prove that it works out. My rise from here to here is -1, -2, -3 because I'm going down, and my run would be, well, this is positive run, so this is going to be negative run. So -1, -2. Okay, so I go from here to here, and I have -3 over -2. Which these negatives cancel each other out, and I'm left with 1.5 or 3/2, which I have over here. Okay, so it won't matter which order you put it in, but once you have it written down, you go -1 -2 is -3, 4 minus 6 is -2. So in this case, you have what you had over here, 2 negatives. They cancel themselves out, and you're left with 3/2 as your slope, or 1.5. Okay, that's how you find slope, either from the graph or through points. Okay, delta y over delta x. Rise over run, all that fun stuff. Okay, practice with this, tie it all together, and ask me any questions through email if you have any. Take care.